Hello students, in this video we are going to learn about refraction of light. As we have already discussed about reflection of light, and here we will study when light passes from one medium to another medium, it gets refracted, how it gets refracted, what are the factors affecting on the refraction of light, that all we will discuss in this topic. You can perform simple activities at home to understand this refraction of light. Take a water in the transparent glass, and if you insert pen or any stick into the glass, you can see that glass at the surface of the water, your pen or stick is looking like a bending towards downside. Means there is a change in direction of path of light. So this is the one way to understand refraction of light with a simple activity which you can perform at home. Actually, what happens in this process? When light enters from one medium to another medium, as you know that the density of the medium is different for different medium, and due to which the speed of light varies in different medium, and as the result there is a change in path of light in one medium to another medium, and this entire phenomenon is known as refraction of light. So what we call that reflection of light? When light enters from one medium to another medium, it changes its path, and this phenomenon is known as refraction of light. Now look at here, suppose this is a interface of two mediums, so medium surface, suppose this is a water and this is air. When light falls obliquely on the surface, obliquely means not perpendicular, what happens in that case? This light is supposed to propagate in a straight line, isn't it? If the medium is transparent, it is supposed to move in this direction, but in reality it does not move in a straight line. This is a point of incidence where we can draw a normal, isn't it? This is a normal, n dash. Now what happened? This is the incident ray, and it is supposed to move in this direction in a straight line, but as here the medium 1 and here is a medium 2, so it supposed to change the path. Now that we don't know whether it move away from the normal or towards the normal. That depends on what is the density of medium 1 and medium 2. For example, if we consider this is a air and this is water, as you know that water is a denser than air, so bending takes place towards the normal. So bending takes place towards the normal. Means when light enters from air or rare medium, what do we call that? Rare medium. Rare means having less density, and this is water is denser as compared to air, so having more density. So in that case, when light enters from rare medium to denser medium, it bends towards the normal. What happens if it enters from water to air? It will bend away from the normal. So this bending, when light moves from one medium to another medium, there is a change in path, what we call in a simple language bending of the light, and this phenomenon is known as refraction of light. So angle formed over here, the angle made by incident ray with the normal is the angle of incidence. The angle made by, this is the incident ray, what do we call that? Incident ray. So at the same time, this is a refracted ray. Refracted ray. So the angle formed here we will name as R. So angle of refraction. So this is angle of incidence. Incidence. And what do we call this angle? This is angle of refraction. Refraction. So like this we can have angle of incidence and angle of refraction. but it is not like the case that I is equals to R. Angle of incidence and angle of reflections are equal in reflection, but here not necessarily. This R may be smaller than I, or in some cases R may be bigger than I. That depends on what are the medium 1 and medium 2. Now we can have a small activity, what we call that reflection of light through a glass slab. Suppose I have kept here glass slab. Suppose this is a glass slab. So glass is a transparent medium. So now when light enters from air to glass, now at present this is a plastic. So in place of that you can take a solid glass slab, isn't it? So when light enters from air to glass, so medium changes. So this is the interface of two medium. Again from glass to air. So incidence and then emergence. What will happen in this process? We will see. Suppose at this point, if ray incident obliquely, why I am saying obliquely? Because once the ray is perpendicular, there is no refraction. Light will not change its path when it is perpendicular to the surface. So what happened? So this is a incident ray. Actually it is supposed to move in a straight line, isn't it? It's supposed to move in this direction without any obstacle. Suppose if I remove this glass medium from there, light moves in a straight line. But suddenly if I keep the glass slab over there, what happen in that case? The light supposed to change its path. And as you know that this is a air medium and this is a glass. So glass is denser than the air. So this bending takes place. I will take first of all normal over there. While taking normal, make sure normal should be perpendicular to the surface. So this is a normal. Now what happened here? This light changes paths but bending towards the normal. So bending takes place like this. Now this is one more surface. Now this is a surface where light moves from glass to air. So at that point I can take one more normal. Here I will take one more normal. Now actually this light was also supposed to move in this direction if there is no glass slab, but it will not move in a straight line. As this is a glass and this is the air, it will now denser to air. So bending is not towards the normal, bending is away from the normal. So away from the normal. Bending is away from the normal. And it will move like this. So finally what? This is the incident ray, this is a refracted ray, and this is the emergent ray, isn't it? But that emergent ray remains parallel to the incident ray. So this is the direction of incident ray, and emergent ray, this is the emergent ray. So which are parallel to each other. So what we call this distance between the incident and emergent, this is called lateral shift. Lateral shift means light shifted from here to here, and this is laterally shifted, so this is called lateral shift. Now this lateral shift depends on what? Less or more? That depends on the thickness of the glass slab. Secondly, the medium, the glass, density of the glass slab. But question may comes in your mind, this bending is less or more, what are the factors that matters for the bending of light? If first medium is air and second medium is also air, so bending does not take place as the density is constant. Means whenever density is constant, bending does not take place. Within the medium with the same density, bending does not take place. But what happens? As medium changes, bending takes place. For the bending, it is towards the normal or for away from the normal. We should learn the rule. The rule says from rare to denser towards the normal, and from denser to rare, away from the normal. Once you follow this rule, you will get exact direction of refracted ray. Secondly, the amount of refraction, less or more. How will you come to know that? And that depends on the medium. Suppose glass, water, glycerin, diamond, these are the transparent mediums through which we can refract the light. So having less density means less refraction. Having more density means more bending, more refraction as compared to the first medium. And to identify this quantity, we should introduce one new term, what we call the refractive index of the medium. As like a refractive index of glass, refractive index of water, refractive index of diamond, refractive index of other medium which are transparent. While saying that refractive index, that value shows you how much light gets refracted once it passes through that medium. As in reflection, incident ray, reflected ray and normal are in the same plane. In this case also, this incident ray, normal and refracted ray lies in the same plane. Only thing is that I not necessarily equal to R. In reflection, angle of incidence and angle of reflections are equal, but here it may vary. Now what happened here? The medium 1 we have considered as air and medium 2 as a glass. When light enters from air to glass, as usual the bending is towards the normal, means R is smaller than I. So geometrically the refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2, or we can say medium 2, if we want to know that refractive index of glass, means refractive index of medium 2 with respect to medium 1 is given by sine of angle of incidence I upon sine of R. This ratio gives you refractive index, which is always constant. For that you can draw here right angle triangles, isn't it? So you can find sine I and sine R. This is geometrically. Or secondly, so refractive index of medium 1 with respect to medium 2. How to write that? The symbol is refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1, and read as refractive index of medium 2 with respect to 1. This is velocity of light in medium 1, V1 upon V2. V1 stands for velocity of light in medium 1, V2 stands for velocity of light in medium 2. So velocity of light in air upon velocity of light in glass, that ratio gives the refractive index of the glass, second medium. If you want to find absolute refractive index, absolute in the sense means if we consider first medium as a vacuum, not air, sometime light passes from glass to air, so we can determine refractive index of air with respect to glass. The refractive index gets reversed with respect to air to glass or glass to air. Similarly, if you assume that first medium, so your light is coming from vacuum and enter to given medium, so that is called absolute refractive index. And as you know that absolute refractive index is denoted by refractive index of given medium Why do we are not mentioning with respect to? We assume that with respect to means first medium itself a vacuum. So we are not mentioning that. Refractive index of medium, that medium may be glass, air, water, whatever, but light is coming from vacuum. It is speed of light in air, speed of light, or you can say velocity of light in air upon speed of light in medium. Speed of light in medium means first medium is suppose a speed of light in air. So this is what C by V. In your textbook, one table is given absolute refractive indices of certain medium. Air refractive index is 1 because the first medium air to air or vacuum to air means no bending takes place. So 1 stands for no bending. So ice 1.31. So bending takes place because ice is denser than the water. Then water 1.33. Alcohol 1.36, kerosene 1.44, the quartz, fused quartz 1.46, this is turpentine oil 1.47. So as medium are becoming denser, the refractive index goes on increasing. Benzene 1.5 means benzene is denser than turpentine oil. Crown glass, it is 1.52. So like this. So Canada balsam 1.53, rock salt 1.54, carbon disulfide it is 1.63. So dense flint glass 1.65, ruby 1.71, this is a precious stone. That is sapphire, it is 1.77, and diamond, which is most denser, so what we call that, hardest material. So diamond is the hardest, so its refractive index is 2.42. What is one more use of a refractive index? Refractive index is used to check the purity of that glass, means how the diamond's quality have been checked. They will find out the refractive index of that diamond, and if it is okay, it is going to match with this, then it is said to be a original diamond. Otherwise, suppose it falls down, you know the glass refractive index, diamond and glass, for a common people diamond and glass look like same, they don't understand difference in them, but the expert who will find the refractive index of that glass, if it is less, they will say that it is not a diamond. So that purity checking is done with the help of refractive index.